and I'll be here to support for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. We have a lot of really cool stuff coming down the pipe, and our smart wallets in production. We have our NFT stuff starting to go into production coming up here. So a lot of cool stuff.
Let's go, Waif. Let's go. Marcus looking like it's wanting to pick up a little steam today.
Yeah, no doubt. It's pretty nice to see kind of a turnaround. I know the last couple of weeks have been kind of ugly.
I woke up today and I thought it was a mistake in my wallet because it was like it was looking like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "What? Like, am I supposed to have as much money?"
That's a glitch, right?
I was like, because I didn't check the charts or anything this morning, so I kind of woke up expecting everything to kind of still be down, and just ended up accidentally clicking into one of my wallets today, and I looked and I was like, holy shit, something must be up today, and I go around and there's a couple of things that's in my wallet 50 to 70% up, and I'm like, oh, let me stop looking at it before I cash it out.
Right, the temptation is always there.
Yeah, especially after we had those couple of weeks of the sideways movement and downwards movement, man. I watched some bags really deplete from where they were. So just to see it in green, it's just my mindset is always sell my green and buy my reds. And so today I seen green, I was like, all right, let me it's not time to sell because I'm nowhere near back to where I was. But it was good to see some positivity in the portfolio today.
Right. Yeah, we announced our V2. We got a little bump off of it, which is kind of nice. And yeah, man, we're freaking pumped, bro, because that means 2022. Obviously, God willing, we'll be able to fulfill the rest of our roadmap probably by the end of 2022.
Nice. That's gonna be super nice, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. A lot of stuff is starting to move into development, and we're just excited, man.
Yeah, as long as you're developing, man, I think that's the most critical part, and it also gives your community trust. It's hey, my team's still building regardless of what the chart's doing, right? And that's what it's all about. It's if you can keep building, eventually the market will come back around.
Right. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to you and BigONE for hosting a positive space. I hopped in a couple spaces yesterday, man, and they were ugly, people arguing and cussing at each other and over crypto, and I thought it was kind of weird. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say shout out to you guys for creating a cool spot to come up and talk and share information.
It's kind of funny. I went into a few spaces. Sorry, Vibin. I went into a few spaces at each other,
but it's usually
Go ahead, Vibin.
You're up. I didn't know you were back.
No worries. I was just saying, I went into a few spaces yesterday, and it was the same thing. If you were watching, there's so much negativity in these Twitter spaces. They're arguing or forming competitions against each other, kind of really weird spaces. I didn't even feel like commenting or speaking in any of the real spaces I went into yesterday. I just kind of went in and watched some of them.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was people arguing over, this token and this token, even though they're supposed to be working together, and all this weird stuff going on. There's 300 people in the room, and these guys started really getting in a heated exchange about nothing. It was literally about nothing. And so the room went from 300 people to 100 and something people. It was pretty ridiculous.
They probably were arguing over two tokens that's pegged to BNB. I always think it's funny when people argue about which token is greater, and both of them are tied to BNB, and it's well, you guys pretty much have the same thing. Might as well at least get along with one another. But yeah, I mean, if we cuss at each other here, it's usually something let's fucking go. It won't be anything negative. I don't really. I sometimes I jump into those spaces. And I'll hear people getting into an exchange, and it's literally I just get out because it's I mean, nobody's gonna make money crying. I can tell you that now.
Preach.
I had to back up my new iPhone today. I ended up brand new iPhone. I broke the back screen already on it. Oh my god, man. What the heck?
What'd you do that for?
I am the most clumsy person ever, and I didn't want to pay. They charge you for backing it up. They charge you for whatever else. So I did an encrypted backup on my laptop today, and I'm gonna bring it home and just install the backup when I get back home.
Oh, nice. Hold on one second.
So what's everybody's feelings on the market today? How do you guys all feel?
It's let's go.
I was looking at the pattern. It kind of does look like a cup with a handle right now.
Nah, I don't know. I'd be careful. I sent you the bar pattern already, Scott. But yeah, I mean this is going a lot right along the line of what I was kind of expecting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm excited. Anytime I can wake up and see some green in my portfolio, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, definitely green is better than red. It definitely creates a more positive environment too as well.
No, yeah, like super. Like I went out today and first thing I did was like go to the mall and bought all like I forgot like two of the girls in my office. I forgot to get them Christmas presents. I like go to the office yesterday and I got Christmas presents sitting on my desk. So I like leave the office immediately. Like, yo, I got to make sure I pick up some Christmas presents this morning for them.
Oh my goodness, that's nice of you though.
Yeah. I forgot like I had ordered the AirPods for everybody, but then I like forgot two people. So.
Bunnies, I hear you're launching on Saturday. Is that correct?
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on?
Not too much.
We are launching Saturday at 10 a.m. That's when the public stuff goes live. And I announced yesterday that we're doing a small pre-sale starting at 6 p.m. Is today Wednesday? So tomorrow at 6 p.m., Thursday at 6 p.m. The first 50 Bunny Bandits from the Season 1 collection will go live. And the first 25 sold get a custom-made, sublimated, that's the process it's called, sublimated travel coffee tumbler cup with their Bunny Bandits on it and a sticker pack included.
Where's my invite? I'll go there.
Say that again?
Where's my invite? I'll make sure to be there.
It's not an invite. It's just on OpenSea. The first numbers 1 through 50 are going live tomorrow at 6 p.m. So first come, first serve, I guess.
Okay, so it's not like a mint or anything like that.
Nope, we chose not to do a mint site. I'm just putting them all on OpenSea so it's just the ease of our whole thing is like the ease of use. Like I could call my grandma right now and be like, "Hey, grandma, go buy a Bunny Bandits," and it's just if she would need to know how to set up a MetaMask, but after that, you can it's ease of use. Just you can do it right on OpenSea.
What are you using for is it still Solana or are you using something else?
We are using the Polygon chain.
Polygon. I've heard great things about Polygon as well.
The more and more I'm hearing, it sounds very, very promising. Like I'm hearing that all like the AAA gaming companies are going to be this year using Polygon to do their pay-to-play stuff, and that's going to be huge. And it's not Ethereum. It needs some time, I guess. But the way I think about it is if people love the project, they're gonna get on it. Like everybody's using their own thing. Some people use Solana, some people use Tezos, some people use Ethereum. And if people love the project, they will support it no matter what token or chain you use, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like NFTs are kind of a bit of a hot commodity right now at this very moment too.
Yeah, they're going crazy from how I see it. I don't know if I'm just like completely saturated myself in it, but I mean, I took some time to learn about what the Bored Ape Yacht Club did, and it's freaking amazing. Like I'm much respect to those guys.
Well, you're doing the right step though. You're doing, like studying those older projects. That's exactly what you should be doing. That's the step in the right direction. I think we talked about that one day, didn't we?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. I forget though. What the heck? Vibin left. He must have hit the blockchain. I should probably invite him back in just in case. And you guys, like, if you have any projects in here right now, you want to talk about anything, please feel free to send a request. I'll be happy to bring you up here. Hey, Crypto67, go ahead whenever you get loaded up here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just logging onto Twitter there and I've seen this space. It sounds an interesting chat, so I thought I'd come on and maybe tell you a wee bit about something that I'm involved with. That okay, yeah?
For sure, go ahead, yeah.
Cool. So it's an NFT project that minted on Cardano back in August. It was one of the first 10k drops back then. There's not so many happening now. They've been a little bit more tactile and what they're doing in terms of NFTs in general. But this particular one that I'd like to share with you all is called Politico. It's a small team. It's almost like a small family, husband and wife, the dev and the artist. And it's all, if you can look at my PFP, that's a president. And it's basically it's a take on like the corrupt politicians that's out there now across the world. So there's 8 different tiers of NFTs, starting from a councillor all the way up to a president. It was, as I said, a 10k drop, and they done it in tiers. Every 2,000, it started off at 5 ADA, which was buttons, 5, 10, 15, and finished at 25 ADA. It's a sellout. The highest sales was 5,000 ADA for one of the Politicos. So it's a nice wee project in terms of the art it's got. However, the engine behind this for the community is that it's now launched its own stake pool. It's called PLKOZ stake pool, and the uniqueness of Politico's pool is that the fees that a normal ISO would get, or a stake pool provider, they would keep because that's what they get to earn that. But Politico's is giving up 100% of its fees and putting that into a pot for its NFT holders. So it's got real utility in terms of a stake pool running for the community. It's currently in its 5th epoch. It's got over 1 million delegated in it, and it's just about to have its first election. It's basically like an election lottery, and there will be 57 winners out of the holders who will be getting their 5% ROI that you would normally get in a stake pool, a Cardano stake pool. However, as this is just a fairly new pool, the rewards have been like 14%, which is amazing. So it's a good wee bonus to get in early. So yeah, that's what this project is all about. This is just one of the first few things on its roadmap. If anybody would like to hear more about it, we're actually having a Twitter space tonight. I don't know if any of you know or have seen Virtual Flame. He's a big VeChain fan. He hosts quite good space Twitter as well. So we're having one tonight. I think it's maybe, let me see the time. I think it's in about 2.5 hours, 8 p.m. UK time. Don't know what time that will be at your guys. But yeah, it's something that I just wanted to share with you, relatively new stake pool, only maybe 2 months old, if that. We're minting blocks on ADA, and the big pull to get more people in would be that this stake pool is designed for the community, and it's going to be giving up 100% of its epoch rewards back into that election pot that happens every 6 epochs. Does anyone have any questions at all or anything like that on it?
Can you just explain what epochs are?
Yeah. So an epoch is a period of time, 5 days. And on the Cardano blockchain, those that stake their ADA, so if you've bought ADA, you can stake it on Binance. Binance will have a small incentive for you to do that. However, where you really want to get into is a proper stake pool, which is completely safe, 100% safe. You still have your ADA in one of the compatible wallets, which it might be a Nami or a Yorai wallet or a Daedalus, all Cardano recommended wallets. You have your wallet, you can see your ADA within there, and within these wallets that I've advised there, you can have a delegation center. So it then allows you to go directly into the stake pool directory, if you like, where you can search for a stake pool operator that you delegate your ADA to. So an epoch is a cycle from 1 day to 5 days, and that's how Cardano will be, or the stake pool operators will be able to mint the blocks on the blockchain, which will then give you your ROI back, which is like your standard is 5% over the year. That's what the average is. But with this new stake pool, because it's relatively new, that it's not saturated at all, then the rewards are triple that just now. But it should average out to 5% over the year. So an epoch is a cycle. Every 5 days, it just starts from scratch again, 1 to 5, and then you get paid your ADA rewards at the end of that 5th day. So that's what an epoch is.
Okay, that makes sense. It's nice to see another person from Scotland in the crypto space. We haven't seen very many people from Scotland in the space.
Yeah, that's good. And it is good to be here. I've been in maybe just under a year now in crypto. I think a lot of people turned to crypto in mid-lockdown last year. So yeah, I'm beginning to see a few more throughout the crypto Twitter space as well. Interestingly enough, I've got one of my football forums that I'm in. There's been a thread that got posted back in 2014, which was all about Dogecoin, and the amount of people that were recycling that and sharing that post again based on the 2014, they've maybe put £20 in, and they were up thousands, as you can imagine, when Dogecoin made its big run last year. But yeah, it's good to be here.
It's funny, I'm from Canada myself, but my mother's side of the family were all from Scotland.
Ah, right.
So,
yeah, I've got.
Yeah, they were raised in a castle. Actually, my great grandfather would have been raised as in Fordyce Castle because his family was his dad was a maintenance person at the castle.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of my friends, they've got family over in Canada as well. They moved over there fairly recently, maybe in the last 10 years or so. Met their wife and happily married over there as well. But yeah, America, Canada, lots of immigrants over there from Scotland.
Oh yeah, lots of immigrants that came over from there.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back. I'm going to go back again. My sister was just there and seeing the castle, and we were able to look up the old records and stuff, so they actually bring her over.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look up the old records and that. So it was kind of really neat. I want to just go over there and experience the history and stuff. I think it's so important.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That's like fairy tale stuff, isn't it? Your family is for a castle in Scotland.
But they're only a maintenance person. But in the same sense, it's so nice.
Don't tell everybody that, though.
I'll always be honest. That's the thing. The other family owns a farm there, like one of those. I don't know. Farms there are different. Like I don't know if it's something to do with the peat moss or something. Or I forget what. Like there's something to do with peat moss or some kind of moss or something that they harvest or take out, or I forget what.
Possibly, yeah. It's maybe just not the right conditions for them to harvest anything, so they might have to scrape away that and potentially it depends what type of farm they are, if it's livestock or crops or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. We're allowed to come over there. They come up here to Canada and stay on a farm here with one of my relatives, so they always invite us to come out there.
Nice one. So thanks.
How is COVID over there right now?
So it's like maybe for you who are living with this as well, obviously around the world, we've got Omicron. That's the biggest variant just now. We're fortunate. We've been double jabbed. Kind of, it's been offered to everybody. The Scottish government have made sure that if you want to get it, it's there if you want it. They've kind of went heavy on it, to be fair. My missus is a nurse. She's been in the COVID ward for the last 2 years. So I've heard some stories, and even now, just tragic stories are happening just because I don't want to go into the political side of things, obviously, but yeah, it's here. It's manageable though. Football has been banned, if you like, from a supporters' point of view. There was no supporters allowed in just before Christmas, but they've all been given the go ahead to go back in from the 17th, Monday the 17th, I think it is, so next week.
Well, that would be nice to have everybody back, eh?
Yeah. Big Celtic fan, so we like to get 60,000 in. It's in fact, if you can click on I don't know if you can see, click on my banner, you'll see it. That's what we call the Green Brigade, the North Curve. That's like the Celtic Ultras.
So is there lots of like the old hooligan style of soccer there, or not really?
It's not really a thing now. It was in the late 80s, early 90s. There's probably still pockets of it there for the bigger games, and one of the games that I was at, I'm a season ticket holder, pretty much go to every home game, and one of the European games against Legia Warsaw, the Polish team, that was pretty hardcore. I think it was a time of the Olympics. I think it was, so Celtic Park was being used as one of the main stadiums for the event. So we get shifted to Murrayfield, which is in Edinburgh. That's where the rugby is, the home of rugby. And there's a big Polish contingent in Scotland and mainly Edinburgh. So there must have been about 3,000 Legia War fans decked in white, and these guys are big guys marching down on their way to Murrayfield, and that was pretty intense. And in a previous year before that, we had Ajax over, and their mob just ransacked a good few pubs on the way to the game. It was pretty horrific, to be fair. There was a few fights, but they're few and far between, to be fair now.
Yeah, that was big history back in the day. Like, you see some documentaries about the old hooligans and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting to watch some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was their lifestyle, wasn't it? It was wearing the gear, putting decent clothes on. The football didn't really play a part in it. The football wasn't their main objective there. It was to go out, get drunk, have a fight, and back up for work on the Monday or whatever. But that's all away now. You don't see much of that at all. It is still there, but it's not as popular now.
No doubt. Well, and did you guys get a bit of snow there this year too, or no?
Not yet. It's not hit here. It's been fairly mild winter up to now. It's not unusual for us to get snow in March, though, to be fair. So I'd imagine it's still in the post, but we've not had it yet. A little bit colder over Christmas, maybe a couple of days frost, but certainly not the snow that you've probably heard about here.
Here in Canada, we've had lots, and it's finally warming up, so everybody's getting excited.
Nice.
No more cold temperatures, so hopefully we get back to the warmth again now.
So, BigONE, what I'll do, I'll tag you in a post if you don't mind, and for that more detailed Twitter space tonight. And if any of your followers want to jump on, learn more about Cardano and try to get into that stake pool, then these are more than welcome. We'd love to encourage more members in.
Yeah, definitely. Take it away.
Perfect, thank you.
And if anybody else wants to talk about their project or anything like that, please don't hesitate to come in and talk as well. we always hold a positive space and want to keep it that way. There's no negativity in here. We like project sharing things and definitely everything staying on the up and up. So I appreciate you guys being in here and keeping it positive. Uh-oh. You must be having issues. I'll try again here. Invite to call. Oh. Left again. Oh, I'll get you, Bunny. Hold on one sec. Two bunnies up here now. Who's the other bunny? That's okay. This is a good space to be new in. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, I must have bad connection. Yes, my name's Ashlyn. I'm a big fan of the Bunny Bandits, and I am trying to network. And I'm having issues because I don't want to network on my Facebook. I don't want to network on my Instagram, but I am big on TikTok, and I see a lot of people with millions of followers. But I'm trying to figure out how to get it on TikTok without sexualizing it. Or is that what people want?
I think you can do it without the sexualization too as well. Like crypto is big on there. You just gotta use your hashtags, do other things. I mean, your maximum exposure is probably going to be something where you joke about stuff or do something silly or whatever. But I mean, you still gain followers without it.
Yeah, I just seem like there's not a lot of, I don't know, NFT followers on TikTok, or if I need to talk to the creator so we can maybe animate something and make it funny or something to just catch people's attention. And that's where I'm having a little issue, because I do want to network and I do want to help build this brand up.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You can do it. There is, and if you search for NFTs, you will find users on there. There is definitely some on there. I follow a few on my own personal account, so I know that there's definitely an NFT community on there. It's just about finding them, really.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm so new to this. I'm so new to the Twitter and everything. I just wanted to kind of introduce myself and say hi and thank you to Bunny Bandits and thank you to you for hosting.
No problem. How did you get involved in bunnies?
Well, my boyfriend is best friends with the creator. And honestly, he wouldn't stop talking about it. So then I got interested. Instead of getting irritated, I got interested. And then from there, it's actually, I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Like, I think you guys will have a good product and a good launch. I'm excited for Bunny for the next little while, just to see what's all going to happen when he does launch his stuff. He seems to have a pretty loyal following right now.
Oh, yeah, no, the art is amazing. It really is. And he's actually an amazing person himself. Sorry.
My girlfriend wants to kill me. She's like, I'm still ready for the 15th to be over. And like for the past 2 months, all I've done is this. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking a spa day on the 15th. And right now, so why I'm quiet, I'm sitting here uploading all of these to OpenSea by hand, like a maniac. And I am 3 days in and I've only gotten 400 done. So it's,
I mean, that's awesome. And I honestly, I'm kind of sitting here waiting for that moment myself. Because then,
I was going to ask, is there not a way to mass upload them, Bunny, or no?
There is, and we me and the guys on our team went through all the different possibilities of smart contracts and things like that. We just, with our time constraints and what we were looking to do, we thought just kind of going old school was the way to go. I mean, I took the week off work just to do this. I have plenty of vacation time to use, so I just used a week. But definitely for season 2, I will not be sitting here for a week uploading thousands of bunnies by hand. It is a process, and yeah. I feel like right now.
I think it's a really worthy process, though. I think it's really worth your time.
I hope so. I mean, my girlfriend, like, I'm trying to prove her wrong, and I'm like we have a wager that, like, if we don't sell a certain amount by March, I owe her foot rubs. And but I mean, we'll find. I mean, hopefully, I mean, if it is, if it's successful enough, then we have the roadmap put in place so that we could show, like, where we're going to be with this project depending on how successful it is.
Well, McDiesel is talking about quitting full time and working with you on this. Like, this has become, like, not just a side job anymore.
If it is successful, I mean, we have it based so that all 3 of us could work on it full time. I mean, that's the hopes, and I mean, like, think about it. Like, even if it takes a year, that, I mean, it's still enough. Like, it puts in enough. They seem to think it's going to sell out in like a day. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm like, holy shit, you guys are crazy.
Come on, be optimistic. It'll sell out in a day.
All right, it'll sell out in a day, sure. And that's why we were like, hey, we'll donate 10% to charity if it does.
And I think that's great.
Wow, Vibin's having some real issues. Like, he gets up to speak, and then as soon as he speaks, he gets kicked out of the group. Poor bugger. I see a couple other projects in here. If you guys want to come up and speak as well, feel free to come up. That's what the space is about. It's a positive environment. So we're more than happy to have different projects up here and talking. So, yeah. And if you want to give me a follow, actually, I have my username in here right now. If you look for Scott Tripp with the crow skull on it, that is me. So definitely feel free to follow me. And yeah, the more followers, the better for me in the end too as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me talk, but I do have to go back to my 9 to 5. But I'm going to keep it on mute this way I can still interact with you guys. But thank you for your time.
No problem. You have a wonderful day. You know what's kind of interesting me is this Coin Laundry NFT. I kind of want to hear from it. I want to know what they're about and stuff. Oh, look at they even are coming up here.
Zeros I see 8, I see 9, I see 8, again I see 6.
Hey, Coin Laundry, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having us. Hey, Bunny Bandits, good to see you. Hanging around. Hope your uploads are going okay. So yeah, we are Coin Laundry. We are a one-of-one blockchain laundromat. We have 144 pieces planned for our first gen drop. Once we get to 72 holders, we will airdrop a claim ticket, and that is going to be used for claiming physical assets IRL. So I will be doing handmade screen prints of each NFT. And then upon sellout, we have some additional perks. We're building a Metaverse hangout, and it's obviously going to be laundromat themed, but we're going to have a little secret vault for all the holders to hang out in. It's kind of a nod to the Chicago, New York old mafia days when all the mafia bosses owned a restaurant and all their secret business dealings went on and back. Kind of gives an interlude to our project. I like to bring awareness and shed light on some of the darker sides of crypto. All of my pieces are obviously washing machines, and they are filled with money because, like I said, bringing light to the darker side of crypto and making people realize that safety and security is important, and we need to kind of change the space from what it was and the negative connotations it might have had in the past. Like to bring a lot of social consciousness to the project. As far as more utility, aside from the metaverse space, every holder will have voting rights on the board for future scaling operations. Don't want to get too much into it right now because it's still in the works, but we'll basically be providing a service to other NFT projects in the future. And then your claim ticket will also be good for discounts in our merch shop and airdrop announcements for events in the future. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming to Coin Laundry. We're here for all your dirty crypto needs, and we are a discreet service at your service. Open to any questions. I don't know if I can pin a tweet in here, if that's okay.
Definitely, go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
All right, here we go. Awesome. Yeah, if you can check out my pin tweet, it's a mint update. We originally had mints scheduled on Mondays, so we do 12 drops a week. The art has become more involved over the last 4 weeks, and so we're just going to slowly leak out our 12 drops throughout the week instead of having a set schedule right on Monday. So right now I think we have 5 for this week uploaded at the moment on OpenSea. And then the tweet that I pinned is a thread, kind of gives a little roadmap update to anyone who's holding right now and anybody who's interested in holding in the future. Thank you for listening.
That's awesome. It sounds like a fun project. And you have how many total NFTs will it be in there?
It'll be 144 individual pieces. Some of the first pieces that were uploaded have a couple multiples just because for giveaways and promotion, but they still hold the same weight as the original 144.
That sounds awesome. Are you excited for everything? Like, when is going to be kind of your final launch, or do you have an idea quite yet?
After the initial 12 weeks, I actually don't have my calendar on me, so I don't know when that ends. We're on week 4 right now, so 6 weeks from now will be our final launch, or our final week of the original launch. Sorry. Hopefully by then we'll have at least half sold out. And like I said, after we sell out half, we will be airdropping claim tickets for physical prints. And we are hoping that drives more business. Once we sell out completely of our original 144, we'll be opening up the Metaverse laundromat / secret hangout and opening our vault to all the holders, and kind of divulging all of our secrets and our plans for the future.
It sounds like you and Bunny sound very similar to each other. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
He's in all the chats I'm in all day long. So I see Coin Laundry every day, and his project's awesome too. I really like his stuff. When we make this money, I'm gonna invest in Coin Laundry.
You guys should do a collaboration. That would be kind of cool too.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm down. Definitely.
I'm definitely down for collabs. We've done a couple so far. This is only my fourth week being in the project itself. Currently, we're working with another person within the Polygon community named Jay Stansfield. He's a UK author and illustrator and NFT artist, and we are working on a project that'll drop in February that provides beds for underprivileged children in the UK. So essentially, it'll be a generative piece using my object illustrations and his children's book illustrations. It'll end up being 1,000 pieces, and each NFT will sell for the price that it costs in pounds to purchase, install, and deliver a bed for one child. So by the end of the project, we will be able to provide 1,000 beds for 1,000 children in the UK.
That is amazing. That's awesome.
And yeah, like I said, collaborations are always open. My DMs are open. This is what I want to focus on in the future.
We could do a bunch of bunnies inside a washing machine.
Absolutely. I like that. Flying around.
That'd be great. We've been standing on the outside getting ready to get their money out of the laundry. Hey, Bunny, can you do me a favor? Under my other Twitter handle, I can't share on here because I'd have to switch accounts on my phone to actually share. But I just posted my own personal Discord group on my Twitter, and I just wanted to share it to the space. So, like, if any of you guys are on Discord, definitely come in if you have projects and stuff. I have people that are always asking questions and stuff in there. So the more people there that go in there, the happier. Like, it's just about collaborating, working with different NFT projects. There's no fee to be a part of the group or anything like that. It's just a place for people to come and talk.
Where's that? You said on your other account?
Yeah, the one with
I've got it pinned already.
The CRO skull. Yeah, that one.
Yo, Bunny, I already pinned it. You're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much. And definitely add yourselves in there, you guys. Like, I had somebody asking last week about music NFTs, and I have no idea how music NFTs work. So I kind of wanted to get some people in there to talk to other people. And I think there's going to be more projects kind of going in there that don't have an idea about NFTs. And if we have people that have projects and stuff like that, I think it's really great for these projects to be in there and to work together and create a positive environment, just like our Twitter space. But we're basically there lots, or I try and be there. But it's really hard bouncing between Telegram and Discord and whatever else. But the more people I get in there, the more I'm probably going to be in there, honestly, as well.
I think the music NFTs are going to be freaking amazing, like, in the next year or two. Like, I'm seeing people who were, like, struggling to get, maybe they had, like, a good following, but they weren't being able to make, like, decent money with their music. And now with this being able to get higher royalties and make money off their NFTs are going to be so much more connected and respected and paid compared to, like, the big labels and how they were doing it. And, like, I'm noticing more and more music. Like, I was in a space last night with this musician that's called Little Bitcoin, and, like, they're specifically, like, blockchain rappers and stuff like that. So it's coming, and, like, there's people that, like, they're putting more and more music out there. I think it's definitely going to be big this year.
Well, and I bought 2 NFTs just last week from this little Dylan, or I forget his name, but it sold out in literally 1 minute. He had 2,200 NFTs, or 2,000 some odd. In 1 minute, it took to mint all of them on the Solana blockchain. I've never seen anything like it before. But their floor price definitely fell after the mint. Oh, well, whatever. That's to be expected, I think, with some of these projects, especially like Solana. I'm noticing that there's a lot of bots that are just buying NFTs as they get minted in hopes to make money. And then when they don't know the premise behind the project or what they're doing, that's when you end up having these issues and where you have your floor price fall, right? as long as people know about the project, know what it's about, then you don't see that. You see more adoption and more growth within the project.
I think that for my project specifically, I have that same kind of way of thinking too, and that's why like I was kind of like not optimistic about it selling out fast, but like more so for like the longevity thing, because like when I think about my project, I'm thinking like, where can we have this built out in 5 to 7 years? Like what could we be doing? And like if you're just a one-time pump, you know what I mean? It's like that could fade away fast if you have like that slower and more organic growth. It doesn't. I mean, if it's a popular project and it sells fast, that's good too. That's a good problem. But like if it's like if you're building that momentum and it's longer over time, it kind of makes me question it. Also, is that the way to go? Is it good? I guess it matters for each project differently.
Hey guys, I don't want to derail anything too much, but I'm an artist by choice, but I'm a chef by trade, and I have to get back to work. I'm going to keep listening, but I'm going to drop down to listener. If there's any questions or feedback about my project specifically, I am open to any and all DMs.
Well, definitely. And if there's any more projects that want to come up and talk, please feel free to. I'm going to probably do a recording of the space and share this on YouTube. So it's just something good for you guys to be able to talk. You'll have more interaction as well. I know it doesn't show it on here, but we do recordings of some of our space just for longevity and stuff like that. So, yeah. What I think you're right, Bunny. Like that 5 to 7 year mark is amazing to think about. Like you're looking at long term versus short term. I know. Like, have you already started your website and all that fun stuff now?
We got just a one pager website up right now. I have in our roadmap a lot of things growing that website to where we do have a back end for stakeholders in the brand and things like that. But just we've been doing this for a couple months already, and like the amount of time we've been putting in just to get the NFTs out, with just what we have so far is pretty great. So we kind of need to see the return on our time investment and to get some more. We need to be able to have the time to put more into it and see that it will be successful, because if it's not, then we can't be just we all three of us on the team, all that are like the main people on the team here, we all have families, and it takes away the time from our families. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves, our families, and then have time lastly to work on this stuff.
Well, that definitely makes sense, right? And that's everything. Like everybody that starts in cryptocurrency typically has a job that they're doing at the start, and then from there, it just so happens that a lot of people end up moving full time into crypto sooner or later.
I'll tell you what.
No, I'm sorry, Jade.
I would love to like be able to do this full time, because it is so much more fun than working for some, just company who just treats me like a number. Like here, me and the people that I'm surrounded with on our team, whether it's, the guys on my team, whether it's Ashlyn, whether it's like my kids, everybody has a say so. So if they're like, hey, I think we should do this, we have the creative direction to change that as like on the fly. I don't have to go to some boss and be like, hey boss, I think this is a good idea, and then they're gonna shut me down and tell me that I'm a fucking moron. It's like that's the fun in this, and like where it goes, we can take that and grow that however we want it to. And well, it also matters, like, is the community going to be behind that too? That's a huge part of it. But we have it's so much more fun, and I hope it does turn into something that we can grow and be doing full time, and in 5 to 7 years look back and be like, wow, well, look what we've grown this into, you know?
Totally.
Well, and that's the funny thing is, like, when I first started, I'll kind of tell you guys my story, I guess. I was involved in crypto and doing different little stories and things like that on Reddit, different spaces, worked different part of Andy's network with him, and then I had an opportunity, just more volunteering and stuff. I had an opportunity to come on full time onto BigONE with Andy's help, and being fully mentored under Andy ever since. Like, I've never, like, I've learned social media this last little while. I've learned how to work Medium. I've learned how to work LinkedIn, Facebook, so many different avenues, Discord, how to make a channel. That's my growth in it, from car sales to what I'm doing now full time, being at home every day. It's so wildly different, especially during COVID. Like, I'm so happy to be at home. Like, I know it sounds so weird, but it's just like, I'm so sick of hearing the negativity, the fighting, the infighting between the non-vaccinated versus vaccinated. Like, it's just, I'm kind of in my own little space here, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm
I
all about the
agree with
positivity,
you,
right?
Bitcoin.
Sorry, say again?
No, I totally agree with you 100% on what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's so much negativity out there. Like, I was in my son's hockey tournament last week. We went traveling, and it was so nice to finally get out and travel and watch my son's hockey game. There's a lot of positive people and stuff like that. But then the last game that we got involved in, we went into the change room, and the coach of the other team was like, "Oh, we have some sick kids, not too bad, a couple of them." But then, as the progress of the practice or pregame kind of went on, I went in the washroom, and here's this kid puking in the garbage can, and there's another kid getting sick after that too as well. And then they're saying it's kind of getting progressively worse, and we were like, "This is not something that we should be involved in." Like, that we decided to end the tournament early because of it, and forfeited that game because, like, there's a point where your kids' health and everything are more important, and they were trying to insist that maybe it isn't COVID, it's something else. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, man, like, just you guys shouldn't even shown up. Like, it shouldn't have been a thing. You're putting the risk of Alberta's hockey. We're the one of the few provinces in Canada right now where hockey's still open, and kids are allowed to play in tournaments and different things, because everywhere else, Ontario, Quebec, are shut down right now. I don't want to see the same thing done here. This is kind of like my escape. So sometimes I know I talk a little bit about COVID, but in the end, you guys, like, this is my space to live a little bit of positivity, to live a greater life where you don't see that fighting, you don't see the screaming, yelling. Like, if we get somebody in our space here that's negative, well, we're gonna boot them. Like, we don't have a problem doing that, because that's what, there shouldn't be arguments. There's people that believe one way or the other. That's fine. We're not pushing ideals on anyone or pushing anything on anyone. I just want the world to, like, get along. I think it's really needed right now. I think, especially in the crypto space and stuff like that, like, these projects and different things, we really need to see that growth of positivity and great things happening, I guess. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
No, I really like your space right now because there is zero negativity, and I think if we all keep an open mind and respect each other's feelings about COVID, there'll be zero problems. We all have an opinion, but like you said, with your child's game, there's a point where you have to look after your family rather than fun.
That's just it. Like, all the parents agreed in the end too. And I mean, a lot of them aren't ones that they're like, just let's bring back things to normal. But when they see that, they're like, oh, maybe we should go home. It's kind of funny how that works.
But you're a parent, and you know what's best for your child, and you can't let anyone dictate that.
So how is everyone's like space where they're at, like in the world or whatever? I've heard in the States there is some issues with like different like grocery stores and stuff are getting some empty shelves and stuff, from what I understand.
I believe every state is different, because in Florida there's a lot of leeway, but if you go to Nebraska, there's zero leeway.
Are you noticing though that the stores, like some of the supplies and stuff, are not there? Like, is
Yeah,
there
I
truth behind
noticed.
that?
Yeah, there's been a few things that have been not so much not there, but more implemented, I guess, like priced up, or it just doesn't exist right now.
One thing I noticed, like milk in Canada, wow, the price.
It went up a lot.
Oh, it's so sickening, like to look at the price of the milk, like going to the store for something that you consider a staple for your kids. It's just insane to see the price of it nowadays.
That's disappointing, but I keep trying to be optimistic about everything. But every time I am, a new variant comes out, so I'm kind of just sitting with everybody else saying, let's just hope for the best. And I think that's how a lot of people feel. And then there's a lot of people that just want to get mad.
Well, and I think we all have a right to be mad, upset, disappointed. Yeah, like, but that's what we're here for, is to help each other out, right? And work through this kind of garbage that's going on right now. Because I think everybody wants it to be back to normal. I think this variant is going to cause it to go back to normal, because you're even seeing in the news right now the endemic, they're calling it instead of a pandemic now. So when they say endemic, it just means you're going to be taking booster shots every year and just go about life the way it is, because it's not going away.
And I think half people accept that, half people don't. But like you said, like, I love coming on here and not having to deal with all the politics. In my eyes, I'm one of those people that it's your body, your choice, and it's always going to be like that for me. Your life, your choice. And I hate to say it, but anybody's life is not going to affect mine by your decision. So we have to just, we don't have to do anything. We could just, I'm trying to be optimistic about everything, but we can't promise anything.
How are you feeling lately, Bunny? Like, how is everything improving for you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm out walking around here. I didn't know if I was able to not be rugged or not. So far, I mean, the past couple of days I've been getting back to normal, but I took a rapid test and it was still positive yesterday.
Yeah, I think you honestly, you're going to see that for a month. Your positivity will not go away. But after 10 days, you're not transmissible anymore, is what they say.
Yeah, the only downside to it is the fact that two of my kids I haven't seen for almost 2 weeks now, because they're staying at their mother's quarantining. So hopefully...
Well, can you not, like, after your 10 days of being tested positive, like, you can bring them over, because you're not transmissible anymore. They can't get it from you, I don't think.
Well, when do you start the 10 days? Because I started having symptoms on New Year's Eve day.
At the start of your symptoms, I believe you can start counting down the 10 days from there.
Yeah, I wasn't clear on what, and from a parenting perspective, just wanted to make sure I kept everybody safe.
Well, and you're keeping them safe. Like, after 10 days, from start of the symptoms to the 10 days, you're safe. I'll check with my wife. She's an LPN, but I'm pretty certain that once your symptoms start, it's 10 days from there, and then you can go about being back to normal. Keep on doing those rapid tests or whatever and find out that they're still positive. But it's because you still have they call it like a micro load of that COVID still in your blood. So either way, it's going to come back positive.
When I do those rapid tests, like within like 2 minutes, they go positive real quick. So like, seems like it's still pretty heavy amount, I guess. But getting the rapid test is whole nother story. These places you have to go wait in the line in your car, and who knows how long it's going to take to get one.
Until he has symptoms, he can.
So once the symptoms are gone, he can see them?
Yeah. In 5 days, though.
Yeah, so once the symptoms are gone, 5 days after your symptoms, you can go see your kids.
Wait, Mama, there's games on this? Mama, there's games on this?
In 5 days, though.
Yeah, so once the symptoms are gone, 5 days after your symptoms, you can go see your kids.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I've still had symptoms up till like yesterday where I was like showing symptoms.
My wife just went through. Yeah, she says you can't see the kids if you still have symptoms. So wait until your last symptoms are gone, and then 5 days after that. She was called in to take care of them, so she knows a lot about it versus myself. My wife has went through lots of these outbreaks and different things. Like she's been through a few of them at her work in different places where she was called in to take care of them. So she knows a lot about it versus myself.
I mean, they're still going to school and stuff like that, but just knowing that everybody in my household, me, my girlfriend, and the baby, we all tested highly positive on it, and we were all sick for almost 2 weeks now. We just wanted to make sure we were keeping everybody as safe as possible.
Well, and that's important, right? You want to keep your other family members safe. We're seeing here in Canada, like I know somebody just passed away here that I know personally, and I don't know if it was COVID related or not, but it was an older person. So they're probably more susceptible to it. And that's what people need to realize. It's the more vulnerable people we need to worry about.
No, 100%. I mean, I for a living, I talk to people all day long, and it's the majority is underlining issues. But there are people that have been vaccinated and still have the COVID. So it's a very touchy subject with when I speak to people. If they want to talk to me about it, that's good. But it affects so much, like with my job in general. Because people aren't showing up to work, then I don't have a job. So I didn't mean to make this all about me, but what G's going through, what everyone's going through with their family, it's devastating because you want to be with their family. And what I'm hearing is just negativity on the phone. And I wish I could hear someone say, you know what, I got through this and everything was great. But that's not what I hear, but I don't hear it personally. So that's kind of what bothers me about it.
So the one thing that I'm finding right now, like watching these, I guess, what was I getting at? I forget. I lost track again. You ever get that moment where you lose track?
It was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. It's all good. No worries. I'm not worried. No, but like this one right now, I think is going to pass through the population. Like, we're not going to have a choice. It's happening. You're watching everybody get sick. Oh, that's what it was. Is here where I'm in right now, they're saying it's going to affect the transit services that are going around our city right now because so many people are sick. So it's starting to affect the transportation industry and different city services and stuff that they're offering that they're saying they can't keep up with it right now.
Oh, dude, the hospital workers, I feel bad for the people who work in healthcare right now. They must go home and cry daily. Like, when we took my toddler to the hospital last week, like, it was zombie apocalypse. It was crazy. Like, they had us come behind the front desk to check us in. It was just the weirdest it was like out of the movie Outbreak or something.
Yeah. Well, like, and I haven't seen the hospitals. Like, I didn't even want to go to my doctor I think I'm going next Tuesday or whatever for something totally separate. But I mean, in the end, it's like I'm in my own little bubble here, so I get to avoid everything and not see everything. And then my wife has to go to her work and experience it all. So I'm like kind of in the middle where I hear all the stories and stuff like that, but I'm such in a shell. It's like when I go out of my house, I'm like, oh man, I gotta wear a mask again. When I'm at home, I don't have to wear any mask. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything, so I don't wear it. So when I do go out, I'm like, man, I'm not used to this anymore.
It's very up and down with the whole mask thing, in my opinion, where I live, because I get shit for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask.
Oh, and people shouldn't give you any trouble. If you decide to wear one, you decide to wear one. If you decide not to wear one, you decide not to wear one. It's like every store and grocery store you're seeing right now, you're seeing people walking around without masks, and then there's people that are walking around with masks. So,
well, honestly, I feel like the rules change so fast that we can't even keep up with it almost.
Well, and it's funny, even you see at the grocery stores, for instance. I'll just tell you one story. We were in Calgary yesterday or a few days ago or whatever, and these stores, they used to be like, the one is like a big seafood city, they call it, and the fish, they separated into bags, they put it on the ice, they made sure everything's labeled separately, you had arrows on the ground, you had distancing between everybody in lineups. All of it now gone, all back to the way it was before.
Honestly, for the first 2 months, that's what it was around here, and then they just took all the tape away, the signs, just like you said, like the grocery stores. We had it down pat with you go up one lane and you come down another lane, and then a few months later, all the tape was gone. It was like COVID, quote unquote, did not exist in our area for some reason.
Yeah, but we're in Florida. So
yeah.
Florida's like the laughing stock circus of the world in a way. Where they're like, oh, you're from Florida? Ha ha ha.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Why do they think it's so funny to be in Florida?
Because of our... Go ahead, G.
Like all the bad news, like all the funny bad news is like, oh, Florida man.
Well, that's kind of like Texas. You remember Texas back in the day when they opened up everything and were just like, screw it, everybody can do whatever they want, and their numbers drastically dropped versus other places. So are we going to see the same thing in the provinces that stay open? Like here in Alberta, we're staying open. Ontario and Quebec totally shut down, and now they're even threatening people that are unvaccinated that you're going to get taxed or fined for not being vaccinated.
And that actually affects a lot of other people, though. Like, not just that. I mean, like, okay, so for instance, from my 9 to 5, I schedule fiduciary independent reviews on companies. Now, less people in a companies is going to shut down, and now I'm going to lose my job. So when it comes to New York or things like that, I don't even bother calling them because there's such controversy with the mandate. But yes, it's not, it goes further than you lost your job, but because you lost your job and a lot of other people lost their job at that same company, now I don't have a job because I don't have nothing to schedule.
That's crazy to think about. That's like in hospitals right now, they're saying the nurses are burning out. Like, you're having people not come back to work because they're so burnt out. And then there's people saying that university students, like third-year nursing students, fourth-year nursing students, are getting asked to exempt themselves from school for a little while to actually go help the hospitals and help the nurses that are in need right now.
Oh wow, is that like what is it? RCO or where they kind of start off early?
There's LPNs, which is licensed practical nurse, which is like a 2-year or 3-year program, and then nursing is a 4-year program. So just their third-year nurses, so they're 1 year from graduating, and they're just getting asked to come in and work in the field as a nurse for the time being during the pandemic or whatever.
Yeah, do you mind me like in your area, did a lot of people go on strike, like a lot of nurses?
No, we did have one recently, but that was based on wages, and they were actually pulling funding away from the hospitals before COVID hit. So Alberta was a bit of a mess, to be honest, when it came down to that. But now, like, our healthcare system's a little bit different than your guys's, where we have free healthcare and stuff. We don't have that pay for all the healthcare, and that's one thing that kind of makes me curious. Like in Canada, it's like people that go to the hospital right now, they don't have to pay for their treatment if they're in the hospital for 20, 30 days. There's no repercussions. But in the States, there is repercussions if you end up in the hospital in the ICU for a long time.
My girlfriend's uncle got COVID at the beginning of the pandemic, and he was in the hospital for about a month, and he has almost like $200,000 in hospital bills.
That's what I was thinking about. Is like the only way you'd be able to enforce it here in Canada is if people that did get it and ended up in the hospital, that they should pay for being being put in the ICU and the extra treatments and stuff. If you're not willing to get yourself vaccinated, then you should be on the hook for the payment, not the government of Alberta or the government of Canada paying for it. That's my feeling. I could be wrong though, and that might be wrong way of looking at it, I guess.
I also heard something on the national news here last night that they were asking parents to come in and teach classes at schools in some place in California because the teachers, there's such a shortage on teachers right now.
Can you imagine that? Like, that's so wild to think about. Like, and we're only how far into Omicron right now?
Well, what about that new one? It's like a flu and the COVID mixed together. It sounds like a cocktail.
They said that's fake, like the testing that came back or whatever, that isn't true. That I do believe that was blown out of proportion, and that's a lot of fear mongering, I think.
I think so. I agree.
This one, this is what they say should happen naturally with something like what's happening with COVID. So you have the high strengths at the very beginning, and then towards the end of it, it actually will weaken, and then people aren't going to be able to get as sick as they once were getting. So we might be seeing the natural progression of what COVID-19 is about right now. Let's hope.
Yes, hope is real. It's just, it's a little discouraging because we've been going through this for what, almost 2.5 years, I want to say, since 2020. Yeah. And over that time period, I had friends that got sick, and then I had friends that got vaccinated, and then I had friends that the problem where I think I have an issue with the COVID is when they put you in the hospital here in America, they'll induce you into a coma. And that's where most of the deaths came from. So I'm actually scared to get sick to go to the hospital because I'm afraid that's just my opinion. Like everything was going well until you actually got into the hospital. And that's
now they have pills that you can. So they're doing these in Alberta. Actually, the University of Alberta came out with this. It's like an immune therapy. I don't know the name of it, but it's going around the States right now. It's coming into Canada. We're getting more supply of it. So when you go in with symptoms and you're a high risk for actually ending up in the ICU, they give you one of these pills or IV treatment or whatever, and it actually lessens the chance of you getting really sick.
Well, there's hope. That's good. That's so good.
Well, and that's what they're saying. It's going to come down to is like if people get it, they're just going to have to go in, pop one of these pills or whatever, and it should stop the symptoms from getting any worse. So that's now we're getting further into it that these people that are designing the pills and different things are able to find something that really works versus even maybe potentially booster shot.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I think the space is dying. Probably
Oh,
because what we're talking about.
no one wants to hear about COVID. I'm so sorry, you guys.
It's me too. I did it too. It's all good. So what is your where in the metaverse, Coin Laundry? Where are you going to be at? I forgot to ask you that. If you're here.
I'm sorry. What was
The
that?
Coin Laundry, the Coin Laundry NFT. They talked about the metaverse, so I'm just wondering where in the metaverse they're going to be.
Right now we are working on getting it imported. Well, it's not built yet, obviously, but we're going to be using Spatial.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people using Spatial lately. That's with Google, correct?
I believe so, yes.
It's really neat.
Some of their like stock environments are pretty sterile, so we are going to be designing and modeling ours in Blender and Maya, and then importing it to Spatial. They also have a really cool feature. They feature creators on their space, so they have a number of creators that are, I don't know, involved with them in some way, where they are actually building environments and selling their environments as NFTs. And then, they only make an edition of about 50 or so, and then all those 50 owners get to, have a private Discord and things like that to discuss utilization of that environment. And actually, speaking of Spatial, coming up on January 22nd, if you search for My Creative Owls, he is hosting a space within Spatial. It's the 2022 Polygon Showcase. He's having 120 different NFT artists come display their work in one of his spaces that he's created. It actually has like 3 different portals to 3 different spaces. So it's going to be pretty big. Like I said, 120 artists. I'm going to be one of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. I actually have my first VR headset in the mail right now. I'm waiting for the mailman.
So are you using that on Spatial? Or can you use that on Spatial or no?
You can. I've been using PC and my phone right now, but as soon as I get that headset, I'm gonna be jumping in there right away.
Well, can you explain what Spatial is a little bit more? Is it just like kind of like another metaverse, like Decentraland?
It's not. It's actually, they're actually completely rebranding. So it's spatial.io, spatail.io. They started as basically like a virtual meeting place for offices and businesses. They started during lockdown and stuff. But now they're completely rebranding because of the utilization capabilities within the NFT space. So they're gearing things more towards galleries and things like that. I did pin the tweet from Creative Owls about the Polygon Showcase. Scroll through his tweets. There's more information about that if you're interested in coming to the show. But yeah, Spatial is really, you don't have to buy any land. You can drop in, drop out. They have on their like main explore page, they link to other open spaces that are getting a lot of attention. You can host your own space. They do have a pro plan. I'm not associated with them in any way, so this isn't like a pitch or anything. But they do have a pro plan where I haven't subscribed to it yet. I'm sure it's just a monthly subscription fee, but they offer you like host tools. There's a really cool translate feature where you can, if you turn it on, you can speak in your native language and it will translate it into a talk bubble in the VR to someone else's language. I think that's a really neat feature. So you can talk about your art and your projects to other people all around the world.
And I think spatial, like, I have the Oculus right now, the Oculus 2, so I'm wondering if that will run in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually tried it out on my brother's, and that's what sold me on getting one myself.
The only problem I have with, and here's my thought process on this whole thing, is VR with the Oculus, your head, your motion sickness, your everything after being in that space for a while, it definitely impacts you. And I'm not saying just spatial, like I'm saying like gaming places and stuff my son likes to go into. Like you can physically, you feel ill after playing that for a while.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for more the upgrades. I'm starting to follow people on LinkedIn and stuff like that because there's some really futuristic groups in there, and they do stuff called augmented reality, which I think is amazing. Which right now you can only see it on the phone, but there's glasses and things that are coming out, and that really makes it so that you're in the physical world you're in right now, but there's augmented reality, so you have that AR all around you kind of deal.
Right.
It's kind of like Pokemon Go, almost in a way where you can pull up on your phone and capture Pokemon through augmented reality. You just see the scene in front of you and you see the Pokemon there. But with augmented reality, I think you're going to see a lot more different things starting to happen. Like there's going to be so much technology behind that. Like if people are really like NFT projects, different things, definitely start looking into augmented reality because people aren't even getting there yet. Like they're looking at virtual reality, where you need to take that next step further and look at augmented reality. Because augmented reality, your person, somebody can pull it up on the phone, and you have this 3D image of your character or whatever that they can move the arms, they can do whatever, and make it like an actual character for themselves to look at or enjoy for themselves. And the technologies, like you're thinking like police officers are going to be using augmented reality, paramedics are going to be using it, so many people are going to be using it for the technologies that are there, that like you're going to be able to see veins for people, different things that they're going to be able to track different stuff, vital signs. There's going to be so much stuff that you're going to be able to do with it just wearing a set of glasses, walking in downtown New York, and for instance, like instead of just seeing like your regular billboard, there could be a QR code that's on something that opens up the augmented reality to you, and you see this billboard jumping out at you or something running across wherever all of a sudden in front of you.
Something I was thinking about last night is, do you think that there's going to end up being criminals in the metaverse? The people, like get killed or, robbed or things like that, or hacked?
I think there's going to be hacking and stuff. I don't think physically you can kill anyone in the metaverse right now, but there's definitely going to be things that are going to happen in there. And that's where augmented reality, you have that augmented reality. I was talking about, I found it kind of funny. You're going to see people in the park, for instance, like they might be playing some game, like some kind of night game where they have a sword and a shield, and you're going to see these two people with these glasses on just going at each other, and you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Because you don't have the same setup or whatever, and they're sitting there playing against each other, and you're going to be like, what the heck, until you find out, oh wow, they're playing some augmented reality game. I really think there's a lot of technology that's going to be coming about that we're going to be so amazed at. Like I've seen, like, if you've seen the things on LinkedIn, like these people are making like boxes, for instance, like there's this little box and there's a QR code in it. Once you scan the QR code, there's this guy that's living in the box with all his furniture and stuff. And as you move the box around or shake it, he gets shaken around. So you see him fall to the ground or whatever, or slide across the room, or piece of furniture move and stuff. Like that's so amazing.
I was listening to some people the other day talk about how they started a homeowners association DAO inside the metaverse. So I mean, there's going to be everything. And as much as I think NFTs are pretty futuristic right now, like I need to get caught up. I need to get over those VR things and get into these metaverses pretty quick.
Well, Bunny, start looking at that augmented reality. I'm dead serious. Like, this is going to be, I really feel it's going to be the next biggest thing that includes the metaverse as well as augmented reality. Like, you imagine instead of people going into the metaverse to show off their NFT stuff, people are going to be able to wear this augmented reality stuff. So instead of like having to be in the metaverse, you're going to be going out to the bar and you'll see some guy in like NFT sneakers or NFT shirt or whatever, and you're going to be able to see the same stuff he has on because you're part of this augmented reality or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I in the past learned a tiny bit about like Adobe Aero, and that's kind of an AR style program. And definitely, I like doing 3D modeling and 3D texturing and things like that. So that's definitely, whenever I have some time, that's some stuff I want to get more into big time.
People are saying Blender too is another big one. I've never used Blender, but I hear it's a free software that a lot of people are using.
Just been starting to teach myself Blender. It's really easy.
Blender's awesome, man. When I first started learning on Blender, and then I did like a traditional course on Maya, did some Cinema 4D, and then I went back to Blender. And I realized that like I'm not gonna move to California and work for Pixar or something. So what's the use of only using Maya when there's something free that is more, just as much, if not more, versatile within Blender? And I love it. So I've been using that ever since. I haven't had time to use it lately, but granted, in the future here, I want to get back to it.
Can I ask, Bunny, what's your background?
By trade, I'm a graphic designer. I do a lot of animation and motion design and 3D motion design, 3D modeling, 3D texturing.
Well, and if you do that, if you do your characters in a 3D format sooner or later, that can kind of be like your version 2, Bunny.
Yeah, and we've definitely talked about that. Me and Mike Diesel have already. We've talked about some really cool shit for the metaverses, and we haven't really laid out any 100% solid plans on set things that we're going to announce yet. But we've already talked about doing some really cool stuff with 3D.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Well, I hate to do this, you guys. I don't see the space blowing up as much as every Friday or whatever. I think Friday we're going to have a big one. We're actually having like DeFi potentially come in. I'm going to find out a little bit later for sure if you can make it or not. But we might have a little bit of an AMA with them. And I think we're going to schedule a giveaway on Friday as well. So look, we're going to have some fun. I want to have some fun. I want to have some music for once. I want to do something a little bit different. We're going to figure some stuff out. Let's have a fun Friday. Let's all get together, you guys, this Friday and have a get together, and yeah, we'll pump it up. Maybe we'll have some music trivia or some trivia questions, or I got to think of some ideas that we can make this space a little bit more fun.
I think that's great. Your ideas right there. Honestly, music, fun. Everyone has a glass of wine.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it'll be at same time as today, so 12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. UTC is what people say as well. But yeah, definitely come in, you guys, and you're more than welcome to come in. Tell us about your projects. Tell us about stuff. Now, of course, if Light DeFi is there, it might just be about Light DeFi or whichever. But for the first part of it, and then afterwards, it will open up to everybody on the floor like we always do. So. Okay, you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
One more person, and then we'll end it here, I think. So, Severia, go ahead real quick.
My project?
Yeah, sure. You can share it quickly.
Cool. First off, thank you for hosting and for letting me speak. And also, what's up, Coin Laundry? I've seen you like in a ton of spaces, man. I'm basically just like cyber stalking you at this point. Alright, so I should have pinned my post. Yeah. Right. So, a lot of the NFT projects that I've seen gathering attention within the space, like, for example, Doodles, are more sort of like cute and whimsical, right? which is apparently very appealing to a lot of the people in the NFT community, at least from what I've seen. And well, I believe that I could apply this same principle to a different niche, which is NFT photography. And despite there being like a very high number of incredibly talented photographers within the community, most of the projects that I've seen are like landscapes, some fashion photography, and like composition work for pieces that are more meaningful and deep. I thought I could produce a more charming NFT project than this, which is why I took the little rubber duck that I have laying around in my desk and I took it traveling throughout various parts of Mexico and photographed this duck's journey. I minted the 24 shots that I liked best on the Polygon network, mainly because, I wanted collectors to avoid gas fees. And they're now available for purchase on OpenSea for 0.01 ETH a piece. I actually began selling them last week, and 5 separate collectors have now invested in it, which I'm like super stoked about. And I hope some of you guys are interested in it as well. And yeah, just thank you for your time, and any feedbacks or questions are welcome. Yeah.
That's awesome. I really like the idea of that project. The other thing, you guys, add yourself to I posted, I'll be 2 back or 3 back now, but if you look up Scott Tripp and the group for the NFT Discord, you guys with these projects come in and freely post your projects on the Discord as well. I want to see your projects in there. So definitely leave a post, tell everybody about it, show your website, show your information, because that's the way we're going to share the space.
12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. UTC. So I hope to see you.
Okay, you guys, I apologize for Rhea if nobody else came up here, but we're going to end the space for now, but we will talk another day here soon. So definitely come back this Friday, 12 p.m. EST.